No, doesn't look like it's live. Here, I'll go live there. Am I doing two things now? Let me check my channel.
Hi, I'm Tony D.
No, that's not what I want. Do I get two things rolling at once? No, I have the reminder. I got two waiting in the reminder. This still isn't going? Oh, it is going. Okay. So I'm good. I'm good on that one. Okay. Am I doing two things now? All right. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Someone say something so I know I'm good. Someone say something. Just in the chat so I know I'm good. Oh, that was what I was watching earlier. Hold on. Put this like that. Oh, man. I'm so sorry to screw all this up. Okay. All right. I'm going to get started. Hopefully someone can hear me. I just need anybody to say anything on the chat to make sure I know. Here. I even typed something in. Is anyone here? Yeah. Thank you, JEC. Thank you. God, I'm such a boomer on this. Okay. So today, welcome to this Sunday live stream with me, your boomer host, Tony D, and Little Joan. Today is going to be comedy and politics. We're going to talk about specifically the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and, you know, some adjoining stuff. As always, if you get me off on a tangent, I'm sure I'll talk about it. But the White House Correspondents' Dinner pisses me off. It pisses me off to no end. First off, it's a huge waste of taxpayer money. If we spend even a dime on this, I'm against it. Who are these people to throw a big party in their honor on our dime? Who are these people? I don't think they should get a party. If they want to have a party, you know, away from me and on their own dime at Joe Biden's house, fine, have a party. I don't care. But there's no way this didn't cost us something. And that I think is wrong. So I was glad when Trump didn't have this party. Not that he didn't have it because he was trying to save us money. I think he just didn't have it because he knew it was, you know, it would have been a hostile room for him. It wouldn't have been fun. But anyhow, the nexus of comedy in politics is really kind of a weird one because it illustrates to me all the problems that are wrong with the left. Why they can't meme, why their comedies are terrible now, why everything in Hollywood is terrible, because the comedy has been destroyed. It has just been utterly destroyed, and the guys you have left are either just sort of simmering in the background, hoping things will get better so they could actually be funny, or they just suck. They just suck. Like the big announcement on Twitter, I think a day ago, was James Corden is leaving his show, whatever late night show he hosts. And to which I responded, no deal. He leaves show business or forget it. Because that guy sucks, in my view. He just absolutely sucks. He's terrible on every level. I don't know how he got a show. He's just awful. He's not good at any aspect of it, in my view. Not in interviewing, not in making jokes. Like, Jimmy Fallon is terrible, but he's good at a couple of things. Like, he's good if you're promoting a movie. Hi, Dan. Like, if you're promoting a movie, fine. Jimmy Fallon will promote the hell out of it. A couple of times he did good sketches. You know, and I'm sure, you know, and he looks like a good host. He dresses well. Those, and I do like that he sings sometimes with some of the musical guests. That's kind of fun. You know, I think he overdoes it, but that's kind of fun. I mean, they all have. Dan Platt says he's a melt. What's a melt? Don the second. Hey Tony, hopefully your Sunday is going well. It's going better now that I got this thing up and rolling. You know, Stephen Colbert, I can't stand him anymore. I think he's a total shill, but the guy's talented. I can't deny that. Jay Leno was great in the monologue. he was terrible in almost everything else on the Tonight Show. But his monologues were always good. They were always good. You know, and he was okay with talking to guests. He wasn't a great interviewer. To me, James Corden is terrible at all those things. There's not one part of that he's good at. He's just terrible at it all. I don't know how he got the job. He should just go. Anyhow, that has nothing to do with politics, really. But this White House Correspondents' Dinner, it's all terrible. And here's the couple that are in all the pictures. Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian. Hollywood ain't my baby. Hey, George Corden wasn't even well liked in the UK before he got that job. It was baffling. Yeah, I don't get it. Whose D did he ask to get that gig? I mean, that's the only question I have. So Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian, they're like all over the pictures to this dinner. Probably because they're the most famous and being talked about. Well, why are they even there? This is supposed to be the White House Correspondents' Dinner. For correspondents, for news people. Right? So if we have to have this stupid dinner, why are these people being interviewed? Like Pete Davidson is a comedian. That's it. Now, you could argue Kim Kardashian, she's an advocate. Dan Platz, he was Gavin's mate. Gavin Newsom? Like Kim Kardashian, maybe she's an advocate, but that's still, it's totally inappropriate for these two to be at this dinner. Totally inappropriate. Other than, oh, let's get the most famous couple currently in the world, so more eyes are on us. These narcissists, unbelievable. Then there's Snap Inc. CEO Evan Spiegel. I don't know, why is he here? There's only one reason I could think, is that he donated enough money. An Australian model, Miranda Kerr, hot, certainly. But again, I don't know why they're here. Martha Stewart, almost. I mean, she's almost news. Dan Platt says, Gavin and Stacey, a quintessential UK sitcom. Oh, that's where he's from. I have no idea. I have never seen that sitcom. Weird. Martha Stewart doesn't belong here. Doesn't belong here. She's a convicted felon, isn't she? I mean, this is a woman they threw in jail. Oh, and she's going to come to this thing? How does that work? Drew Barrymore. Not looking great. I don't like this look at all for her, by the way. I like it better when Drew's a little trashy. That's my thing. I'm attracted to the wrong woman, but damn it, she just doesn't look good in here. She looks, I don't like it. But she doesn't belong here. She's not a correspondent. She's not in news. She's not in comedy. Not really. Why is she here? Why is she here? Brooke Shields. Not a model, kind of an actress. I mean, I don't mind her, but she doesn't belong here. Doesn't belong. This kid, I don't even know who he is. An actor, some kid actor. Dan Platt says Drew peaked in The Wedding Singer. I didn't like that movie either, but I get what you're saying. I think Drew peaked in Charlie's Angels, which I didn't like the movie. Her version of it. It was better than Elizabeth Banks' version, I would say. But I respected her for bringing back Charlie's Angels at a time when it was like the right moment to do it. It was a good idea. I don't know, the execution wasn't quite there, but at least that version of the movie was kind of like the show. I mean, Cameron Diaz dancing around in her underwear, that was more like the real show. This guy, I don't know this guy, comedian Leslie Jordan. I vaguely remember seeing him once. I don't know why he's here. Is he performing? I don't think he did. Now, ironically, Drew peaked in E.T., says JEC. Dan Blatz, the original Charlie's Angels, knew it was a fun at least. Yeah, Yeah, and her movie was at least a little bit fun. Louis Kellerman is here. Hello, Louis. Lucy Liu never ages. That is true. Those Asian ladies, gotta love them. Al Sharpton. He's the only guy in this set of pictures. I think that's the last picture in this one. He actually belongs there because technically he's a news correspondent, although not really. He's a pundit technically, but at least he's on a newsy show. I mean, can you imagine this lineup? And this is the one guy. This is the one guy who, and the other guy's an attorney. I don't know why he's here. But at least Al kind of belongs at this dinner. And CNN covered it. There's Trevor Noah. He's the comedian of honor. I mean, God, what it must be like. I mean, Trevor was a pretty good stand-up comic. And, man, what he's had to do to maintain his fame, it's awful. And then here's a shot of the room. Everybody's in tuxes. Everybody's having a wonderful dinner. Look at how many people are at this thing. First off, this is way too many people. It's just way too many people. Too many. What is this? It's just too many people. What did this cost us? What facility was it at? Here he is, the president laughing. Here he is. Look at this. Look at this shot. This is totally for the cameras. Here they are coming in. Trevor is aggressively unfunny. His stand-up was decent. Yeah, he's terrible on the Daily Show. He's awful. He's just awful. Because I feel like it's like he's trying to do the clapter thing for the lefties, and he's just not really one of them because he's just not American. So he's kind of like the guy they gave a bunch of notes to and said, "Here, do this. Yeah, no, do this. This is really funny. No, do this. Do this. You got to make fun of the Republicans. It'll be hilarious." And Trevor was like, "Okay, if that's what you do in America." Oh yeah, that's what we totally do in America. And that's what he tries to do. And it's like he can't really do it. There's no genuineness to it. Dan Platts, no chance Biden knows that he's laughing at there. No chance Biden knows that he's laughing at there. I don't know what you're trying to say, Dan. That sounds like Biden typed that one. Yeah, no, Biden's out of his mind. And again, here they are. Martha Stewart again. And look at this idiot. Fully vaxxed, everybody. Look, I have fully vaxxed on my purse. I had it stitched on my purse because I'm fully vaxxed. I'm fully vaxxed, everyone. Hey, everyone, I'm fully vaxxed. Yeah, I want to say stuff. I want to say stuff. But I'm not going to say stuff here, obviously, because it's YouTube. If you want to hear me say stuff about this, tune in on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble. Okay, Don Lemon. All right. He should be there, even though I can't stand him. Dan Platt. Sorry, no chance he knows what he's laughing at. Oh, okay. Now I understand what you're saying. Sorry. Yeah, Don Lemon. Okay. I can understand why he would be invited. And that's his husband, by the way. Rumor is he's cheating on him, I guess, because he's like out and about, like doing weird stuff that he's being sued for, I guess. Was he married during that row? I'm pretty sure he was. But now here's Drew Barrymore doing a selfie with, who is it, Gayle King. Is she on the news? I don't know. She's like Oprah's friend, right? Nora Donald. Okay, she's on the news. And Wendy McMahon. I'm not sure who she is. I'm going to guess she's probably on the news because I don't know her and she looks like she could be on the news. JEC says, should bury that bag with her when her heart blows up. I don't know what you're talking about, JEC. I heard it was all just rosy and dandy in that area. Here's another stupid, ugly purse, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what women waste their money on. It baffles me. Ladies, stop buying shoes. Stop buying this crap. It's dumb. It's just dumb. Anthony Blinken. I recognize him and his wife. I guess he should be there. He's not a correspondent, but he's part of the government. Dan Platts, my word, is that a tattoo? On Drew? Yeah, oh yeah, she's all tatted up. Right here? I'm not sure. It's like looks like a dove and then some words. Yeah, she's a little old for the tats. I think she got them later. And then just some dude checking his phone. It's such a weird pick to end on. A guest looks at their phone outside the venue. Why would you end with this photo? I mean, you don't even know who this guy is. Whatever. And then, hit the wrong thing. Where'd it go? There we go. And then, I just went through the pictures, and you can see Fran Drescher was there. Again, I don't know why. Dan Platt's horrible. Yeah, her tattoos are bad. She has, like, hot girl tattoos. Like, you know, hot girls get their tattoos sometimes, and they're just bad. They're just really bad. I mean, hot girls should be getting top quality tattoos. You're hot. You know, you don't want to ruin that canvas. Looks like something my nephew would do. Is your nephew a tattoo guy, I assume? I guess Joy Behar poked her head in to say something unbelievably unfunny. And it's just pictures from the old ones. But, yeah, so that's about it. That's all I could find on the pictures. And then here's the New York Times covering this. Jokes, glamour, and a try for normalcy as correspondent's dinner returns. So, Dan Platt's tramp stamp. I bet she has one. I bet Drew has one. That's why I kind of like her, because she's a little bit trashy. Don the Second. I'm glad I haven't gotten tatted yet. I'm waiting till I find a design if I like it all. Yeah, I don't know, man. For years, I wanted to get a tat, and I wanted to get one of my comic characters or my logo, one of my logos for one of my comics, and I never could decide what I wanted. And I'm sort of glad I didn't. Can you look at Charlie's Angels back in the day? Like now? No, I can't put it up now, but I have. I mean, I watched it. I watched it live, dude. I'm that old. Now, I remember watching Charlie's Angels. It was a good show. Because, like, it was the equivalent, it was the closest thing you could get to Skinamax in the day. This is pre-cable TV. Dan Platts, I've got loads of tats. They are by people who can draw, though. Oh, that's good. Yeah, you can't skimp on a tat. And a good tat is expensive. Yeah, it's very expensive if you get a really good one. And you got to get a guy. And, you know, there are people who get good tats, and then there's everybody else who is just the testing canvas, I'm afraid. But yeah, I watched Charlie's Angels live, man. Live. Back in the day where it was like you had to be in front of your TV at a certain time to see a show, or you'd have to wait until next week. That was it. I missed Charlie's Angels? Damn it. I thought it was on at 9. Yeah. Yeah, that era. That era actually existed. Before VCRs. Yeah. I remember before VCRs. So yeah, New York Times. Jokes, glamour, and a try for normalcy. See how they frame this? It's like normalcy. It's normal for us to have a big party. It's normal. How is it normal? How is it normal now? Dan Platts. Who were the original 3 ladies? I knew you were going to ask me that. So it was Farrah Fawcett, Kate Smith, and the other one. I forget. Oh, God. Like a blonde, a brunette, and the other brunette, basically. And then they switched them out after a while. Cheryl Tiegs was in that mix, I think, right? Was it Cheryl Tiegs? I mean, they were all hot. I don't know. I don't remember the faces on that show for some reason. Amid concerns about COVID, President Biden offered some humor and received his own ribbing at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, a ritual that has gone on hiatus during the pandemic. So, right away, it's like, amid concerns about COVID, these people are still trying to push a certain disease. I'm not sure I could talk about this. They're still trying to push this. They're still trying to push part of it anyway, half-ass. A ritual that had gone on hiatus during the pandemic that these people love. They love it, I think. So, like, he's still trying to push this, still putting on a mask every once in a while. But this guy, he covers it. The jokes were back. The celebrities were back. The president was back. The only question was whether COVID was back. That's the only question? How about this? Everything's going to hell. Everything's going to hell, and Joe Biden's having a party. Oh, and by the way, here, look at this headline. Celebrating the First Amendment. From the guy who brought you the Ministry of Truth. The new Ministry of Truth that we absolutely need now that Elon Musk is buying Twitter. Oh, God, we need 230 reform, everybody. Oh, God, we need it so bad. Oh, we've been working on it behind the scenes this whole time. Oh, but now we need it. Now we need it more than ever. And now we celebrate the First Amendment by not inviting anybody to this thing that could possibly say anything slightly off key. Dan Platts, you mean the disease for which we have a vaccine that totally stops you getting it? Yes, that one. Defo wasn't released by the CCCP. Oh, the Chi-Coms? Nah, how would they know? Yeah, so imagine you're this tone deaf. You're this tone deaf. You've just started the Ministry of Truth. You've just started the Ministry of Truth that will determine what is truthful and what is not. Because you're so afraid of Elon Musk, who wants more free speech. You think you're actually celebrating the First Amendment at a party for yourself. That's totally coordinated to make you look good. Dan Platts again. So telling how they brick themselves, that might have been their ideas exposed to the sunlight. Yeah, I mean, I praised Stephen Colbert back in the day when he did Bush's party, because Bush actually looked pissed off during it, and I thought Stephen Colbert did a good job back then. Back then, I didn't really realize how much of a shill he would become, in my view. Now I think Stephen Colbert is embarrassing, but back then, he looked like he was actually pissing Bush off. He was doing his Stephen Colbert rapport guy, and he was doing satire against the very guy who was sitting right in the room, and it was fairly savage. I thought it was very savage. Maybe it was all an act. I mean, Stephen's very talented. Maybe I was just fooled. I don't know, but I thought it was good. But continuing with this article, after 6 years of strife followed by disease. After 6 years of strife followed by disease. Where's the math here? Okay, 6 years of strife. Are we counting all 4 years of Trump and Biden's a year and a half, almost 2 years? Is that what we're counting now? 6 years of strife? Oh, now we don't have strife? Yeah, we just have rampant uninflation, high oil prices, a war in the Ukraine that might turn into a nuclear holocaust. Oh, and education that's turning everybody into a commie. But now it's fine. Dan Platts, in the days of George Bush, they were the rebellion. They own the shop now, and 2 years of Biden. Yeah, but they don't own the shop. I mean, I guess they kind of think they do, or they played at owning it. It was just I think it's all just a ruse now. It's like, and they weren't interested in actually doing any of the things they said they were interested in. They weren't actually anti-war. I mean, look at the Ukraine, right? It's like they couldn't be more for a war in the Ukraine. Couldn't be more for it. Sickening. Absolutely sickening. President Biden headlined the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and the CNBC bacchanalia of Washington journalists, like none of them that were in the pictures, and power brokers dressed up in tuxedos and gowns to spend an evening schmoozing, networking, excuse me, gossiping, preening, and peacocking before returning to the office on Monday to savage one another again. What world does this New York Times reporter live in that he thinks these people are savaging each other? When? When does that ever happen? When have they ever savaged Joe Biden? When? Can anyone name a time they savaged Joe Biden? Not even Peter Ducey savaged Joe Biden. He asked him a couple of questions that were okay, but he didn't savage him. I mean, a guy who would savage Joe Biden would be like, Mr. President, you are clearly suffering from dementia. When will you resign? That would be savaging him. Like, just broadsiding him with that. And having him go, boop, 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 boop. Where's my Joe Biden glasses? I could sum up America one word. That was like his speech. I can sum up America in one word, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't say the word. And I can't see anything with these. What are your thoughts on Desantis? I like Desantis. I think DeSantis is great. He's very based. I still want Trump, though, because I think DeSantis isn't quite ready for the national stage. I've always sort of had that. And he's young. He can wait. You know, we need guys in the pipeline, too. The Dems have no one in the pipeline. Their lineup is just a complete clown car of idiots who everyone hates, which I hope it stays that way forever now. But the Republicans, you know, we have DeSantis, we have Rand Paul, he'd be good. But Trump, I think, would be great. I think his second term will make his first term look like nothing, because he's made all the mistakes. He was good when he was in there. He made mistakes while he was there, but now he knows. He didn't really know where the levers of power were. I don't think he really understood. Like, he kind of knew, and he had some thoughts, and he's a smart guy, and he rolled with it, and he did some things. To this day, I'm just shocked at how well he did. But now I think he'll do so much better, because he did well when he was in there. He's had 4 years, or he will have had 4 years to think, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Okay, now this time I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to do this. Man, when he gets in there, I think it'll just be like a rocket to the moon. He shouldn't go against Trump if Trumpo runs, split the vote. No, he won't. He won't. I think they have an understanding. I think, you know, things are so bad right now. We also need DeSantis to keep running Florida the way he's running it as an example to the rest of the states. Even to Texas, which is being run okay, but it's not great. I'm not a huge fan of Abbott. We need guys like them to stay in power, because we need those states. And we need those states to have actual elections, I'll say. And that's about all I can say about that. Another thing. Elon, buy YouTube so I can talk again, so I can talk freely on a stream. We need guys in power. We need state governments so the election will go well, I'll say. Right? A lot of the states are fortified properly. So any problems that we totally didn't have in 2020, YouTube, honk honk, we're definitely not going to have in 2024. So, Dan Platts, I'm from the UK. To have a state with no income tax is unheard of. To have a state with no income tax is unheard of. Yeah, it's great for. Guess who doesn't have a sales tax is Delaware. They don't have a sales tax. That's where people in New Jersey, they'll go if they have to like buy a boat or a car, they'll try to buy it in Delaware and like save themselves a few $1,000s and then drive it across the bridge or whatever. Or if you have to buy a computer or something, they'll get it. It's all right, John. He's moving his trash cans. It's okay. My neighbor's moving his trash cans. But yeah, there are states here with no state income tax because, Joan, they don't need them because they run their states properly. We could have that in New Jersey. We could totally have that. At least in South Jersey we could. Maybe not in North Jersey. No, Joan, you have to be quiet. We're doing this live stream. Okay? He's just moving his trash cans. I know, you don't like that noise for some reason. So, yeah. In the United States, we have all kinds of taxes, and we hate them all. Here near me, Philadelphia has a city tax and a state tax for Pennsylvania. So if you work in Philadelphia, you have to pay the city a special tax. If you go there, if I do a comic show in Philly, I have to pay special Philly tax and Pennsylvania tax. It's ridiculous. It's why nobody wants to do business in the city if you can avoid it, unless you're making oodles and scads of cash. You don't care. But they of course don't go after big people anyway, so it's just pointless. But there are a lot of taxes here, and we don't even need them because we have so much money. If you ran your state properly, you could build up a war chest just on like normal fees and things, but these people, they don't do that. They blow money left and right, and it all comes back to the same people, and they all have a D next to their name. D for dumbasses. Lala Lucas, welcome. I'm in Scotland. There are extra taxes on top of UK taxes. For example, I bought a house for my elderly mother, and Nicola Sturgeon stole an extra 10,000 euros or pounds. Is that pounds, I think, on top of all the other taxes. Oh, man, that sucks. Yeah, we have estate taxes. I'm not sure where they land these days. They've been back and forth on it. So yeah, if you get something from an elderly relative who passes on, you'll have to pay taxes on it. I mean, they'll get you. And the dumbest tax we have in the United States, people in the UK, get ready for this. They tax unemployment here. Yes. So imagine you're out of work, as I have been, and you collect unemployment. They give you money so you don't die. You paid into it. It's your money. They only give you the money you paid in back. So you give them this money out of your paycheck, so in case you get fired, you'll have some money for a few months while you look for another job. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's just dumb. Anyhow, it's only for the people who apparently can't save any money, but now they're in on the system. But you get this money. You either have to ask them to take out your taxes, or you just ask for all the money like I do. And then you have to be responsible to pay the taxes on the money. So they tax it twice. Like, you paid into it, right? So you paid, I don't know what the percentage is. So say you paid like $100 out of your paycheck every other week or whatever, right? And that $100. And then you get that $100 back when you're unemployed, but you got to give them, $10. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Dan Platts. On my wages of $35K, I come out with roughly $20K after tax. Oof. Thanks, Ukraine. Yeah, pretty sure they do that here too. Yeah, I mean, what are the taxes here? As a freelancer, it's hard for me to calculate because I'm usually freelancing and my money's like all over the place, and I got to do And my cousin, thank God, my cousin's an accountant. My family, we have a large extended family. We have a cousin for everything. Thankfully, my cousin does my taxes and knows what she's doing. And but yeah, you pay all this money. It's like a third, I think. It's probably like a third. So that sounds, let's see, 35K. That's more than a third. 15K, yeah. Lala Lucas, that's brutal. Yes, it is. Dan Platts, my mom got taxed on her state pension. Ugh. See, that's not right. That is absolutely not right. You pay into the system all your life, and then you got to pay again. See, there are proposals here, and I hope one of them goes through, that old like 65 and older wouldn't have to pay property taxes. Like, there are property taxes here. So the state of New Jersey, and they're out of control in New Jersey, by the way. Man, we're off on a tangent. The taxes here on New Jersey, if you have a house, you pay a property tax just to have the house. And most of the property tax goes to schools where they waste it, right? Like something like 90% of the property tax goes right to the schools where they just waste it. So the schools here are completely overfunded. They suck and they're overfunded. You think our medical institutions are completely wacky? It's nothing compared to education. It's nothing. Because every school in the United States is completely overloaded and overfunded. And they still need more money. The teachers still are poor. They still run out of like school supplies all the time. They still suck. They still graduate kids who don't know anything. Oh, but the cost of educating them poorly goes up every freaking year, and your property taxes pay for it here. So if I had no property taxes, I'd have an extra probably 6 or 7K a year. I mean, that's what it costs here at my house, and they're low here. 6 or 7K for property taxes a year is low in New Jersey. I have a friend who lives near Six Flags Great Adventure, and he's basically in the woods. I mean, he's in a development, but it's kind of like woodsy area, and it's more central Jersey, and I think he pays at least twice that, about 15K a year, just to live. I mean, it's just to live in your house, basically. Dan Platts, teachers are people that failed at their profession. Yeah, they're certainly failing these days. It's just ridiculous. Now, it's supposed to pay also for things like your trash pickup. You know, my town happens to be really good about things like that. I love it. They have an amazing trash pickup. We have amazing public works guys because we're a small town and it's easy to manage. Like, we don't even pay our mayor. Our mayor, if you're mayor of this town, you get nothing. You just have to work. I love it. I love that we don't pay our mayor. So, you know, because it's small, our town's easy to manage. We have a few events, we have a little bit of money, and that's it. You know, and we have town hall meetings. Everybody kind of knows each other. In big cities, this is why they waste so much money. I used to live in the town next to the one I'm in now, and that town is much bigger, and they waste money all the damn time. That we had nothing but problems in that town. Dan Platt says, off topic, but what kind of dog is Joan? She is not a poodle, Lala. Joan is a Bichon Maltese. Half Bichon, half Maltese. Hypoallergenic, so she does not shed. She has hair, and she's very soft. Everybody says how soft Joan is. Right, Joan? Oh, you're such a soft doggy. You know, her white fur is like impossible to clean around her face. It's just absolutely impossible, and her paws. So she always looks like a filthy mess, except on the like 2 weeks after I get her groomed, and like she needs like shampoo like for her fur or what hair, right? Because it's hair. It's hair. So it's she's a good little dog. She's very very kind, very nice to other dogs. Always wants to meet other dogs and loves people. Very nice. She's very sweet dog. Okay, let's get back into this stupid White House correspondence thing that I hate so much. All right. Oh, I was going to mention this at the top before we got into White House correspondent, but I forgot to move this tab. The '90s show. They're bringing back that '70s show, but it's being called That '90s Show, and this is the first still from it, and it's Red Foreman and Kitty Foreman. I don't know if you're fans of the show. Dan Platts, I'm actually getting a dog next Saturday, and he's Romanian. Oh, neat. Good luck with your doggo. Train your doggo. Train him. Dogs like routine. They like to go do things at the same time of day. And when you disrupt the routine, that's when you have problems. When Joan doesn't get her WALK at a certain time, then I have problems. See, right now she's totally calm because it's not time to do anything. It's time to sit around and do videos. That's what Joan's used to. But right around dinner time or right after, it's time to WALK. I don't want to say what it is because then she'll be like, what? What? Lala, Lucas, dogs are brilliant. Yes, they are. Dan Platts, they are like boundaries. They like boundaries. Agreed. Yeah. So anyhow, the '90s show, it's not really about politics and comedy, except the one thing I'll note is Red Foreman to me, I forget the actor's name. He's so good. But Red Foreman to me is part of the reason they're bringing the show back, because he was such a strong anchor for the rest of the cast. Danny Masterson, by the way, is not coming back for obvious reasons. I think he's going to prison. So Red Foreman, the guy with the traditional values, it was the anchor of the show for That '70s Show. And it was, typical, like, crazy bunch of hippie kids against, Red Foreman. So I don't know if he's going to be a regular on the show, but it's going to be interesting to see how that aspect of the dynamic changes. Lala, I watched That '70s Show, loved it. Dan Platts, didn't I see him in RoboCop? You absolutely did. He's the lead bad guy in RoboCop. And he's great in that, too. He's been in a few things, but RoboCop is the big one, and That '70s Show. Because, it got memed pretty well. So it'll be interesting to see if the dynamic of Red Foreman and Topher Grace's character, sort of is modified. And I read the write-up. So Topher Grace and Donna are married and have a kid. So that's going to be the plot of the show, I assume. It's probably going to focus on the kid, I guess, the youngest one. And then he's going to be like Red Foreman, constantly asking his dad for advice, I guess. Something like that. Should be fun. Should be a fun show, I think. But yeah, I totally forgot about that tab. All right, getting back to the dinner. This was the joke Trevor Noah did. Since you've come into office, things are really looking up. Gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything. And this is Biden's reaction. I'm not sure if I can play it, but let me see if I can play it without the sound. Hold on.
A tough first.
Yeah, here it is.
And I think ever since you've come.
Yeah. So, yeah. Red was great in RoboCop. They tried that '80s show already. It got canceled after less than a month. It had Dennis from It's Always Sunday. Yeah, it did. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was weird, too. Looking back on it, it was weird. But I don't think anybody from That '70s Show was in it. Right? So this is That '90s Show. It's going to be. So this is the reaction of Biden. See, look at him. He's loving it. He's loving that gas is up, rent is up, food is up. Like, the reason that joke is funny is that it's true. The prices are out of control here. I don't know what it's like in Europe. I'm sure it's crazier. But here, it's absolutely nuts. Food is up like 30%. I used to be able to go out to eat all the time. And so one damn thing in my life I want to be able to do. Not fancy food. I just want to be able to go around South Jersey and get a slice of pizza whenever the F I want. Or whatever. Slice of pizza being the main thing. I can't do it now. It's just too much money. You know? It's just a waste of money to go out and get a slice or a sandwich or anything. Sandwiches are out of control. All right? A sandwich here was, and I'm in South Jersey, which is a little cheaper. Hollywood ate my baby. Laughing at the people's misery. Yeah, exactly. Sandwiches here were about $7.99 for like, a hoagie, a sub, or whatever you call it. Dan Platts, we have Stop Oil Idiots gluing themselves to microphones. Yeah, I heard about the gluing. That's a escalation. It's weird. I don't understand. Again, another tangent. I don't understand why these protesters are so stupid now. It used to be when I was into protesting a little bit. I wasn't that into it, but I was into it a little bit. Like, the idea behind the protesting was to go after the actual people, right? So if you wanted to disrupt, I don't know, the oil guys, where I live, a tin of Heinz beans is £1.20. I don't know if that's a lot. I don't know how the money works out. Is that more? Is that a lot? JEC, pizza is still cheap. Yeah, it's still cheap, but it's not cheap. But I mean, it's still more. Like, I used to be able to get a slice and a drink for $2. I can't get that now. I can't get a slice and a drink for $2. There's no way. It's $3 at least. I mean, pizza is obscenely cheap to make. If there was an article I read one time, if there wasn't a mafia, like, pizza would be like $2 for an entire pie. It's just insane. Lala Lucas, that's a lot. Okay, all right, I believe you. How much is in a tin of Heinz beans? That's like a little can, I'm assuming. Heinz beans. Yeah, I'm not a bean guy. Here I rate everything with sandwiches because that's all I ever eat. So like a sandwich here would be like $7.99, and that would be for like a cheesesteak hoagie with cheese and a steak, lettuce, tomato, onions, and a sub about this long, about 12 inches long. Giggity. Now it's more like $11, like $10-11. It's like a almost a 50% upcharge, really. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And fries, forget it. Fries are now like, fries used to be like $1 something, on the side. Now it's like $3-4. So I went out to this place, and it turned out to be a great place. You should be able to get a tin of beans for 50p max. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a big jump. That's a big jump. That's more than double. JEC, we got eco protesters just sitting in the middle of the highway in Canada to protest climate change. If they're not careful, Trudeau will freeze their bank accounts. Yeah. If they were actually effective, I'm sure he would. Just sitting in the middle of the damn street, inconveniencing randos is not protesting. You're supposed to inconvenience the actual people in charge. You're supposed to go to, like, the oil company and block their trucks. Like that. And then the cops have to take you away, and they didn't get their oil out that day, or you delayed them by 2 hours. Like, that actually does something to the actual company. Make them lose the money. Don't make me, some rando trying to get to my comic book convention. Don't stick me in traffic. I have nothing to do with the oil companies. I can't stop the oil production. No, these people are idiots. They're just turning everyone against the protesters now because they're so stupid and entitled and narcissist. They're a-holes. Protesting has now become more about getting attention than anything else. So yeah, the sandwiches here are just through the roof. So I went to this place, great place by the way. I'm gonna promote it, although you guys are all over the world, so you'll probably never be here. But in South Jersey, there's a place called Stewart's, named after Stewart's root beer, which is a brand of root beer here. I know UK, you don't know what root beer is, but it's good. Anyhow, the Stewart's in Hamilton, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. I got a gyro there, fries, fresh squeezed lemonade, which I had to get. I was dying, so hungry, and blueberry milkshake. Oh, mwah, fantastic. It was all fantastic. But it cost me $30 for dinner, which was a lot. I mean, I could have gotten sushi for that kind of price. But it was so good. It was so good. It was worth it. I'll say that. It was worth it. But I can't afford to be blowing $30 on dinner every time. I just can't. It's too much money. For dinner, $30, that was like, I went to the grocery store yesterday. I only spent like $50. And even that, I didn't get that much food, but like at least that food will last me a few days. Pork or gyro? It was, lamb or gyro. Lamb or pork. God, terrible at reading. It was lamb. It was delicious. It was so delicious. JEC. Same time the truckers were doing their protests, some climate change terrorists attacked a job site building. A gas line did millions of damage. It looks like they blew some of the machinery up. Literal terrorism, and they ignored it. Well, they shouldn't ignore it. Yeah, I did think I covered that in a news blast. Yeah, because that's okay. That's from the left. And that goes along with the current narrative, which is, oh, we're going to green energy anyway, so F these people. Anything to stop big oil, apparently, in Trudeau's Canada. Lala Lucas. I had my first root beer float at an In-N-Out. It was sublime, the highlight of my trip to the USA. Excellent. Ooh, you went to In-N-Out. That's a good place. I like In-N-Out. We don't have them on the East Coast, unfortunately. Our burgers are not great. Yeah, we are not, this is not burger country here. Unless you go out and get fresh meat yourself and make a burger. Getting a good burger in this town, it's tough. We're all about Italian food here. Italian food, blow your doors off, blow your mind. Hamburgers, The best we've got locally is Five Guys, and they're closing. They're closing. Ugh, it's a tragedy. Five Guys is closing. Absolute tragedy. We don't have In-N-Out. We don't have Fat Burger. We don't have any of the good ones. I don't know what we're going to do for burgers. I have to go to the store. Fortunately, my supermarket literally just started making fresh hamburgers again because it's now grill time. The weather broke. And I can finally get fresh burgers again from my local store. So I'm very happy. But even those were a little pricey. I almost got them, but they normally do 4-packs and 8-packs. And they were out of 4-packs. And I didn't want to get an 8-pack. That's too much. Even for me. I can house a couple of burgers easy. But 8, that's too much. And I don't want to freeze them. You know, I don't want my burgers frozen if I can help it. It kind of defeats the whole purpose. I mean, I got a whole giant case of frozen burgers for emergencies. I was going to eat them this winter, but they had fresh burgers almost through the entire winter. So, anyhow, JEC, we got Five Guys up here. They go crazy with the fries. They're going out of business, dude. Enjoy them while you can. Get your fries. Those fries are fantastic at Five Guys. The burgers are good, but the fries, oh my God. Fantastic. Best fries, by far. Best fries I've ever had. I mean, that's the way to do fries. And it's so cheap to do. It's so cheap. All you need to do to make good fries, if you get a fry cutter, which restaurants anybody can get one, all it is this device where you just put the potato in the top and you go, and the potato goes right through the blades and then falls, the pieces fall into a bin, right? You do that, and like potatoes are still cheap. You can get like a bag of potatoes, like 20 pounds of potatoes for like $3. And you just wash them, put them through the thing, and then you got a big giant bin of raw fries. You soak them in cold water to soak the starch out of them a bit. Then you drain them, and then you fry them. But they don't want to do that extra work. But Five Guys did. Why are they going out of business? I don't know. I think they expanded too much. Dan Platts and the peanut oil. Yeah, it's healthier too. I think they just expanded too far. Now you guys email me. I'm doing a live stream. My nephew finally gets back to me. Call. Doing live stream until, what time is it? Oh, it's already 3. I'm going to say 3:30. I haven't even gotten through half the stuff I want to talk about. I'll say 3:30. All right, enough about burgers. I could talk about burgers all day. All right, so here is, now this I think I can actually play, because this is the White House feed, and we're going to play Biden's, oh crap, no, that wasn't it. We're going to play Biden's response to all this. Let me get up to Biden. All right, here he is. All right, here's Joe Biden's response. Now, this is after Trevor Noah went up there and did his stupid thing. Tony's nephew asking him about his Apple settings. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
And let me know if the volume's good on Biden.
Thank you, Steve, for that introduction. And a special thanks to the 42% who actually applauded.
I guess that's a reference to his terrible poll numbers.
I'm really excited to be here tonight with the only group of Americans with a lower approval rating than I have.
No, I don't know. I think people hate Biden more than they hate the press at this point. And they only hate the press because they're propping up him.
That's hard to say after what we just saw. This is the first time the president attended this dinner in 6 years.
Who cares? Trump didn't want to do it because you're a bunch of a-holes.
It's understandable. We had a horrible plague, followed by 2 years of COVID.
Don't know if the volume's okay. Sounds incompetent to me. Ha ha ha. Nice one, Dan. Can you imagine being this much of a simp for Biden that you're laughing at his jokes at this thing? I can't imagine it. You know, when Stephen Colbert was making fun of George Bush, the room was silent. Like silent. Except for Larry Fishburne. Like the camera panned across the room, and Larry Fishburne was laughing his ass off.
Just imagine if my predecessor came to this dinner this year. Now that would really have been a real coup if that occurred.
Yeah, see, January 6th was so terrible, he can make a joke about it. That's how terrible it was. And it wasn't even a good joke. Jesus, he's struggling through it. Look at this crypt keeper. Look at him.
A little tough, huh?
That laughter, I think a lot of that is like nervousness, you know? Like people like, do we laugh at this? Is this supposed to be funny?
I'm honored to be here at such an event with so much history. It was already referenced. The very first president to attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner was Calvin Coolidge in 1924. I'd just been elected to the United States Senate.
I'm not sure if that's a joke either. He might actually believe that.
I remember telling him, Cal, just be yourself. Get up there, speak from the heart. You're going to be great, kid. You're going to do it well. Of course, Jill is with me tonight. Jilly, how are you, kid?
Calls his wife kid? That's weird. Isn't that weird? I think she is a trophy wife, though. I mean, she was
She's done
younger.
an incredible job as First Lady. the First Lady to continue.
Imagine if this was Trump. Yeah. No, Trump would be killing it. Trump would be killing it. There's a reason he didn't want to do this. He'd have to be yelling at these people the entire time. And he'd be the funniest guy in the room.
Continue working full-time as she does as a professor.
Yeah. Jill Biden, what a genius, huh? Wrote a book about her memoirs, or what was it, a memoir written for her, I guess. 250 copies it sold in the first week. 250.
She doesn't pay much attention to the polls. Though she did say the other day, instead of introducing myself as Jill Biden's husband, maybe to introduce myself as her roommate.
I don't get that joke at all. Was that supposed to be funny? That's kind of weird.
I've attended this dinner many times. This is my first time.
And is he slurring a lot of his words? He's not. He doesn't seem to be able to pronounce them well.
As president, the organizers had it hard, made it pretty hard for me tonight. Although the good news is, if all goes well, I have a real shot at replacing James Corden. It was great having him over to the White House the other day just to...
Ugh, that alone. If I was a Biden supporter, that would have dropped me right out.
As he announced he's leaving the show.
Why would he announce that at the White House? Why would he announce he's leaving his show at the White House? And why would the White House let him do that?
Great performers going out on top after 8 years in the job. Sounds just about right.
JEC, his wife was there, the babysitter. His first wife drove into the oncoming traffic with the kids in the back seat. Hunter and Bo survived. Some of the other kids didn't make it. Yeah, I mean, it was tragic at the time. I vaguely remember it. Or I guess I watched a documentary like years later about it.
To me. And it's tough.
Probably messed him up.
Follow pros like James and Billy Eichner. Billy, where are you again? Where?
Billy Eichner. Can you imagine Billy Eichner is a name in this room? Billy Eichner?
Well, Billy.
Corden is a
You're famous for interviewing.
TIT? Tit? Or something else worse that I probably can't say on YouTube.
You should know what you're doing, pal. You know it well. And I think you should hope meets the press. Maybe they start to watch it again. I've never...
What? Why would you make a joke like that?
Never had no...
Man, and the audience booed him. The audience kind of booed him, didn't they?
I've never had to open. I'll never be...
Did he just cross himself?
Never be invited to meet the press again. Anyway, never have to open before Trevor Noah. Trevor's great. When I was elected, he did a show and he called me America's new dad. Let me tell you something, pal. I'm flattered anybody would call me a new anything. You're my guy.
And imagine you got to be the signer for this. Look at her smiling. Ah, that's hilarious. Brutal.
Folks, it's been a tough few years for the country. There's one reason why it's great to be here again.
Oh, I thought he was going to say it's been a tough year for the country, and there's one reason why. Me.
Everyone at the White House is so excited. I told my grandkids and Pete Buttigieg they could stay up late and watch this show
Did you hear that? He couldn't say Buttigieg.
tonight. Tonight, we come here to answer a very important question in everybody's mind. Why in hell are we still doing this?
It's not funny. It's a total waste of money and time. We've got so many problems in this country. You should not be having a party where you get to make fun of yourself and laugh at our expense. Diane Platt, have you seen Kyle Dunningham, Fresh Prez? I have, and it's effing great. I love Kyle. I love his whole channel. Hollywood Ain't My Baby. I wonder who wrote these jokes. I don't know, probably I'm going to guess the Daily Show writers, since Trevor was the host.
I know there are questions about whether we should gather here tonight because of COVID.
What a nightmare gig that would be for me.
We're here to show the country that we're getting through this pandemic. Plus, everyone had to prove they were fully vaccinated and boosted.
There's the biggest joke of the night.
So if you're at home watching this and you're wondering how to do that, just contact your favorite Fox News reporter. They're all here, vaccinated and boosted. All of them.
Oh, can you imagine clapping for that? Can you imagine clapping for that? At this late date, with the data coming in. Ugh, cringe. Oh, my God.
Fox News, I'm really sorry. Your preferred candidate lost
La
the last
Lucas.
election. To make it up to you, I'm happy to give my chief of staff to you all so he can tell Sean Hannity what to say every day.
Yeah, brutal. Someone pointed out on Twitter, I think it was Elijah, and slightly offensive, like at some point he adjusts his tie the wrong way and it just stays there. Like he's not even aware of it. He's half dead.
In fact, Ron Klain is here at the CBS table which hired Mick Mulvaney. Mick on CBS.
JEC, watch half of them will test positive over the next week. Yeah.
On Masked Singer with Rudy. Amazing hire, guys. Really quite amazing. Look,
He made a joke about the Masked Singer with Rudy Giuliani.
I know this is a tough town.
It didn't go over well.
An ambitious agenda, and I expected it to face stiff opposition in the Senate. I just hoped it would be from Republicans. But I'm not worried about the midterms. I'm not worried about them. We may end up with more.
Mr. Volts, 81 million votes. Yeah. LAMAO. Yeah.
More partisan gridlock, but I'm confident we can work it out during my remaining 6 years in the presidency.
Can you imagine this guy lasting 6 years? If this guy's in office 6 years, they're going to have him in a robot suit that moves him around. Because that's the only way it's going to work. I don't even think this guy will be... There's no way. There's no way he's running for re-election. No effing way. I don't think he's going to make it. I really don't. Not to the end of his first term. He'll be so incoherent by the end of 4 years. I think they just want him to hold out until January 1st. Then they'll put Kamala in. And then this way, Kamala can run for 2 terms. And their hope is that they're just going to control everything during that time. They'll put Kamala in. And then Kamala, by that time, will be exactly like Joe. Will just do and say everything they want. And they'll just run it for another 10 years. No problem.
I'm not really here to roast the GOP. That's not my style. Besides, there's nothing I can say about the GOP that Kevin McCarthy hasn't already put on tape.
The joke doesn't really land. Because really, McCarthy was talking about Trump specifically?
You know, at the same time, a lot of
Listen to him. I'm funny.
A lot of people say the Republican Party is too extreme, too divisive.
No, you say that, and everybody in this room says that.
Too controlled by one person. They say it's not your father's Republican Party. Ronald Reagan said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear this wall down. Today's Republicans say, tear down Mickey Mouse's house. And pretty soon they'll be storming Cinderella's castle, you can be sure of it.
Oof. Oofa. Lala Lucas. I can't bear Kamala's voice. It makes me squirm. Yeah, she's pretty terrible. But did you see that lead balloon he just launched out there? Woof. Woof. Like, even the room is like, are we supposed to laugh at this?
The Republicans seem to support one fellow, some guy named Brandon. He's having a really good year, and I'm kind of happy for him.
That's the big joke. I mean, that one was okay. I got to give him that one.
Let me conclude with a serious word.
If Biden had delivered it properly, it would have killed.
Times. We're coming through a devastating pandemic, and we have to stay vigilant. I know Kamala wanted to be here, for example. Thankfully, she's doing well. You should all know she sends her best.
Another person who was very, very boosted But I'm sure it would be worse without the boosters. Honk, honk.
We're at a time when what we so long taken for granted is facing the gravest of threats, and I'm being deadly earnest.
Yeah, you.
Oversees the liberal world order that laid the foundation for global peace, stability, and prosperity since World War II is genuinely, seriously under assault. And at home, a
Oh,
poison
he fixed it.
is running through our democracy.
Can you imagine ending it like this? Like, you're there to do comedy, ostensibly. It's supposed to be a light thing. Now he's getting serious? Oh, let's laugh for a while. Now I'm going to get serious.
All this taking place with disinformation massively on the rise. Where the truth is buried
Misinformation massively on the rise, everybody.
by lies, and the lies live on as truth. What's clear, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, that you, the free press, matter more than you ever did in the last century. Now, really?
Really? These people? The mainstream press? Don Lemon? Al Sharpton? The only two are Nora McDonald?
I mean it.
Or O'Donnell?
I've always believed that good journalism holds up a mirror to ourselves to reflect on the good, the bad, and the true. Tonight,
You mean like the journalism that got you knocked out of the presidential race when you plagiarized a bunch of speeches? That journalism? Yeah, that journalism was good.
I want to congratulate the awardees and the scholarship winners who carry on that sacred tradition. We've all seen the courage of the Ukrainian people because of the courage of American reporters in this room and your colleagues across the world who are on the ground taking their lives in their own hands.
Unbelievable. He's unbelievable. Utterly shameless. Utterly shameless. What an assertion, right? Like, this war that was completely unnecessary, that NATO could have completely avoided. 100% could have avoided. And the United States runs NATO, so basically him. You're telling me that these people are brave for going on the ground in Ukraine, a massive country where the Russians absolutely do not want to kill anyone American. Oh no, they do not, because they know exactly what the optics looks like. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine? It's just unbelievable. All right, I can't watch any more of this nonsense. Where did I hit the wrong thing? Okay, but you know, my old boss, Bill Maher, he's at least trying to keep doing comedy. He's at least still doing the stand-up he's always sort of done. He's gotten better at it over the years. I gave him hell early on, but I think he's gotten a little better. Here he is doing a joke about Elon. I'm buying Coca-Cola to put the cocaine back in. It's all fun and games, Elon, until Hunter Biden gets his head stuck in a vending machine. That wasn't bad. That's not bad. Again, when you do comedy, you got to punch up, right? That's at least punching up. It's at least punching up. It's a solid joke. You know, it's a little bit edgy. Do you think this joke could have played in that room? Oh, it would have killed in that room. Well, it would have killed for me watching it. But for the people in that room, they would have been like, I don't know if I should laugh at this. That's the president's son. Exactly who you should have gone after. Because Hunter shouldn't even be in the news. He should be shamed for having a son who's just running amok, doing this stuff. But yeah, you weren't going to get Trevor Noah to do a joke like this. Here's another joke that had been great to do. It's an amazing meme. I just came across this today. This is from Wayne Dupree. He does like a media site, and I think that Turning Point Action did the meme. I was jumped by two guys wearing Tesla hats. They told me this was Twitter country. And famous French actor Jussi Smollett. I mean, I thought it was brilliant. But, this makes fun of the media because what did they do? They held this guy up as a hero for weeks. For weeks, all we heard about was this guy, this brave stance. He was so stunning, so brave. And here's how Deadline covered it. You know, that movie magazine that's supposed to cover movies. Joe Biden rips Fox News hypocrisy, mocks low polls, praises Trevor Noah, and shows White House Press Club dinner he gets "Let's go, Brandon." You really think he got it? You saw it. I played, everything but the wrap up, basically. Does that sound like a fair assessment of what you just saw? How about doddering old man tries to do comedy? That would be appropriate headline. White House Correspondents' Dinner, in the room on a night of lofty tributes, sharp quips, and surreal sights. Well, I guess the last part's true. Lofty quips, everybody. Lofty tributes, sharp quips. Trevor Noah's White House Correspondents' Dinner routine takes swipe at Will Smith's Oscar slap. I didn't play that part. Name checks Joe Rogan. Okay. Resurrects Fox News Roger Ailes and mocks Paramount Plus. Okay. Those are topics I guess you can do in a stand-up routine. Is it one you do at a White House Correspondents' Dinner with the president sitting right there? Not if you got any cojones. Biden roasts Trump, GOP, and himself at White House Correspondents' Dinner from the Hollywood Reporter. The other bastion of movie news, because this is so important to movies. Biden referred to the journalists as the only group of Americans with a lower approval rating than I have. Ha ha ha. White House Correspondents' Dinner at Variety. The other magazine that's supposed to cover movies, but for some reason covers this. Joe Biden mocked Fox News about vaccine hypocrisy and more. I'll give it to him. They got a good photographer. He looks good in that picture. But yeah, it seems to be not good. How to watch the 2022 White House Correspondents' Dinner hosted by Trevor Noah. See, you can't just watch it. You have to understand how to watch it. So when the jokes don't land, you can understand why you should be laughing. You should understand that everything about the Democrats is good. So you don't know how to watch it. See, if you're watching it and you're having thoughts, your own independent thoughts, well, you're not watching it correctly. So you got to know how to watch it. So that's why you have to read this article. Gee, I wonder why news correspondents aren't getting the respect they deserve anymore. Oh, well, you're not watching us correctly. So you got to know how to watch us. You have to know how to think. So you're not thinking clearly. You should be laughing until the very end where it gets very, very serious. Oh, then you need to be very, very serious. Very serious. No, this is about the Ukraine. It was very serious about the Ukraine. Oh, no, high prices. That was hilarious. Oh, Americans going broke. That's hilarious. Oh, but the Ukraine's very serious. No, we need to send them more money. It's very serious. Very serious. Anyhow, I got to wrap it here. Before I go, if anybody's interested in, if anybody's got money they want to donate, my cousin Rocco and his son both have a kidney condition. Rocco, back in the day, got a kidney from my aunt, and his son just got a kidney from, I believe it's one of his wife's coworkers. I was like, kudos to her for giving up a kidney. I don't know if I could ever do it. But if you guys want to donate to the GoFundMe page, it's here in the De Laurentiis family donations, not related to the movie people. So just thought I'd throw that out there. If you're looking for a tax write-off or something, or if you just want to throw me cash, instead of throwing me cash, throw it to my cousin. He could use it. So I'm going to wrap it here. Any final comments, anyone? Lala says, must maintain conformity by mirroring everyone else. Yeah, exactly. So the White House Correspondents' Center. What an absolute trash fire of a deal. And again, you know, Trevor Noah, another guy they just ruined, I think. They ruined his comedy. I can't watch him anymore. I couldn't watch him if he did a stand-up show. I can't watch, you know, the guy I really can't watch anymore, and I just saw him on Twitter the other day promoting a show, is Lewis Black. I used to love Lewis Black. Lewis Black used to do his angry guy shtick on Jon Stewart, and this was back in the Bush era, and it was great. He was so good. And then Obama got into power, and then he sucked. And then I went to go see him live. Bye, Jay-Z. I went to go see him live, and it just sucked. It just sucked. He was terrible. It's because I guess he couldn't channel his anger to the people in power who he liked. You know, I guess he liked Obama, and he wouldn't go after him like he went after Bush. If he had done the same thing to Obama that he did to Bush, I think he'd still be on top. He'd have a show or you know, a major tour. He could be doing jokes about Joe Biden, but I don't think he will. I think he'll pull his punches every single time. And that's how politics ruins comedy. That's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. I'm going to go call my nephew, see what the heck he wants. And, oh God, can I shut this down in one thing? Let's see if I can.